Ladies and gentlemen, Star Fluxx.
Avocado games.
Fluxx is such a simple game that if you find the card with the white background, that's all you need to do to start somebody to play. Now, of course, you should read the rules, I suppose. But
the rules change.
Yes. So that's an important point, Chris. Oh, by the way, Michael Selvaggio and
Christopher Grabowski.
Christopher Grabowski. Okay. So say his name 5 times really, really fast. Grabowski. I can't do it. So anyway, the spirit of this game is that these geniuses over in Looney Labs have gone ahead and created a game and broken down the elements of many common games, such as there's basic rules, there are goals, there's actions you can perform, there's things that you keep that can sometimes modify your chance of success, and there sometimes are changing rules. So the thing is that you're going to be dealt a hand of 3 in the 2-player game, and start off with drawing one and playing one. So then you'll have 4 cards in your hand, you pick one, you play it, and you perform whatever it's supposed to do. Now some are keepers, you keep them. Keepers you keep. You keep keepers. And keeping keepers is kept in front of you. So kept keepers are kept in front of you. Okay, you keep them. Anyway, so when you play a keeper, all it is a possession of yours. Now, when you play a goal, this is telling you, like over here, it says the player that has the distant planet and the small moon, which, by the way, are keepers, like this one, only different, on the table wins. So, if you have these 2 keepers, then you win. And that's a very simple goal. So, that would be out there, and if Chris has these 2, or if I have these 2, then game over. Instantly. Now, the next thing to go through is the rules. Now, they're called new rules. Now, this particular one is peculiar, and you got to read these sometimes. Some of them are very simple. Some of them affect how many cards you can play, affect how many you draw. Okay? Those are real simple. Draw 5, draw 3, whatever. Play 1, play 5. But the wormhole is peculiar. It says once per turn, you may take the top card from the draw pile and immediately play it. Repeat if you draw a creeper. Oh, there are creepers in this. Okay, so there's creepers in this. I just didn't see it in the deck. This does not count as one of your draw or play actions. That's good that we did that, because let me show you an example of a creeper, now that I know they're in here.
One, isn't it?
Nope.
Oh.
That's a special card.
Oh, it's something else. Okay.
Yeah, they had, here's a creeper. That's a nice one. So this one is brain parasites. And creepers are things that you get stuck with. And while they're in your possession, you cannot win the game, unless, of course, some creepy rule comes out. Anyway, so it says, you can't win if you have this unless the goal says otherwise. That says it better than I do. Okay, now this one has a special thing. If you have keepers with brains in play, you must choose one to attach this to. So if there's clearly golds in here that have brains, like this guy, the doctor has a brain. So now he's got brain parasites, which I could have told you. Anyway, now it's attached to him. So, okay.
So if he goes away, does that go away as well?
Both cards stay together unless discarded. So he's stuck with this. So until you can either destroy this creeper independently or not, if it says kill the creeper but don't kill the doctor, then you can get away with it. Otherwise, your doctor's got brain parasites. So there you go. So anyway, that's creepers. And actions.
There's these special...
Oh, you know what? Okay, that's right. This is a new thing. I got this confused with an expansion set. Okay, surprise card. This card can be played at any time for one of the functions described below, or cancel a surprise which another player has played. So this can either disavow a surprise by another player, or its special effect can come into play at any time. And again, you have to read the card, just like that.
You need to talk about the...
Oh, yes. The rules?
No, the rules or the
actions. Actions. Okay. Actions. Actions are exactly what they say. It says to play this card, do whatever it says, then place it on the discard pile. Each action is going to require its own instruction set. You have to read it as you go. You play it and do what it says. It's that simple. And that is the heart of how to play most Fluxx games, and in particular Star Fluxx. So we're going to play this powerful game, which I think is a riot. This is one of my favorites. This and Martian Fluxx I like a lot. And I just think it's not that they're better games than the others. It's just that particular theme turns me on. There's Monty Python Fluxx out there for anybody who's interested. And I'm told it's a riot. Star Fluxx, and as is true to its nature, it became nebulous. I like this game a lot. The cards are funny. If you have a history of 1950s on sci-fi, there's so many references. I thought the Unseen Force with Robbie the Robot drawing was associated with Forbidden Planet. And then they had another one that I also mentioned. Some of these cards are hysterical, and having a science fiction background can definitely improve upon this. So that's Max Faggio and
Christopher Grabowski
saying, I hope you bring a game on the trail and have some fun with it, and I hope this works out for you. Star Fluxx from Looney Labs, one of my favorite games, easy to teach. It's essentially a gateway game, which means that you can introduce somebody who doesn't normally play. I would recommend Fluxx, the vanilla Fluxx, to people if they're really tough to teach games to. I've seen some of the most difficult people play standard Fluxx and have a great time. On another note, there's this whole thing that sometimes happens with people psychologically. They think of games, they think of rules, they think of, I'm not smart enough to play it, or I don't want to spend the time to learn the rules and everything. So when you're teaching a game, show a little compassion and try to really know the game well. Go over the key points. Don't push strategy. Just go over the key points and get them in the game.